Hi everyone, Mr. Wagner here. Today we're going to work on Breakout 3. On my screen right now I have Breakout 2. I've already saved it as Breakout 3. Let's go ahead and run it and see where we are. All right, looks like we have the ball bouncing around, and that's very good. What we're going to work on today is we're going to put a paddle down here that's going to be able to move back and forth with our left and right keyboard key. Okay, so let's get going. All right, so first off, let me go ahead and change this to Breakout 3. And just like we did ball variables, we're going to need to create some paddle variables so we can create the paddle. Here we go. Let's create a paddle X. We'll set that to 400. That's just an integer value. That's the X value of our paddle. We'll do a paddle Y. We're going to set that for 550. We'll set a paddle W, which is the width of the paddle. Let's make that 80. You can make a smaller paddle by making it 40, or a larger paddle by making it 100. And we'll make a paddle H. We'll make that 20 pixels high. So that should be a good place to start anyway. We can always tweak those values later. Let's make, just like we had a DX and a DY for the ball, let's make a paddle DX. We'll set that to 0, meaning that the paddle won't be moving anywhere as we start. And we will create a paddle location. Just like we did ball location, we're going to make this a tuple. We'll do a paddle X, paddle Y, paddle W, paddle H for the height. Okay? Now, when we're drawing a rectangle for the paddle, the rectangle code actually needs a tuple with 4 variables in it. You know, the X and Y and the width and the height. Let's draw our rectangle. I'm going to scooch down here to, I don't know, maybe line 54. And we're going to type pygame dot draw dot rect, and we're going to put in here our screen, which is the surface we're drawing on. The color, we're going to use that new way to do color. So pygame.color with a capital C, and we're going to make it blue. And we're going to need our paddle location. All right. Now, let's see what that does when we run it. So we're going to go ahead and hit run module, and we got a pretty blue paddle. Wonderful. Okay, so we're in good shape. Now, let's see what we can do about getting the paddle to move. Now, we're going to need a couple things. When we did the ball, we had like a ball X plus equals DX, and then we reset the ball location. So very similarly, we're going to have some code like that for the paddle. Okay, so let's type something like that. We'll do paddle X plus equals paddle DX. So that, whatever that paddle DX value is, we're going to be adding that to paddle, and then we are going to recreate our paddle location. So we're going to do paddle location equals paddle X, paddle Y, paddle width, paddle height. All right. Now we'll run that again, and I don't think you're going to see anything happen because our paddle dx is 0, so nothing's going to move. But we'll test it to make sure our code is working before we move on. Okay, same, good, good, good. All right, now let's add, we need to check our key event, our key down event, because we want to be able to work with the left and the right arrow, okay? The way we do that is we need to check for the event type from Pygame. So on line 40, that's where we do that. So we're gonna go if event.type equals Pygame.key down, all in caps, and then a colon because we're in an if statement, the end of the if statement. And then we're gonna say if, and we're gonna say event.key equals key, K underscore right, like that, colon, and then we're gonna say paddle underscore dx equals 5. Okay, so that's our right button, and we're going to do if event.key equals K underscore left, colon, paddle underscore dx equals -5. Okay, so if we hit the right button, we're adding 5 to the paddle location every time. And if we hit -5, it goes back the other way every time. So let me go ahead and run module. Let's see if it's moving nicely. See that? Okay, now obviously it's not gonna, the ball's gonna bounce right through it and stuff, and it goes off the screen, so we need to fix a couple things there. Now, one thing I like to do is I like it when I let up on the paddle, it stops in that location, okay? So the way we do that is we need to check to see if we're letting up, and if we are, then we just need to set that paddle dx to 0. So let's see if we can code that real quickly. On line 45, we're going to say if event.type equals Pygame.keyUp. Move that out of the way. Pygame.keyUp. And now we say if event.key equals K underscore right, or event.key equals K underscore left, colon, meaning then, paddle dx equals 0. Okay, let's run it. So we move, okay, so if I hold it down, great. If I let go, it stops immediately. Okay, perfect. Now that's the way I like to play it, but you can code it however you would like to. I'm gonna go ahead and close. And one other thing that I wanna do, actually let's look at this. If I run this, if I scoot this all the way over to the side, notice how it goes all the way off the end to the right, and it'll go all the way off the end to the left. And I'd like to program around that. I don't want that to be the case. And that's actually not all that difficult. Let's talk about that and see what we can do. So let's close that. And we are gonna go right in between line 61 and 62. And we're gonna catch that paddle X. and make sure it doesn't go too far to the right or too far to the left. So let's see, that sounds like an if statement to me. So I'm gonna say if paddle x, okay, our x value is greater than the screen width, okay, that's all the way to the right of the screen, minus the paddle width, then the colon, we're going to say paddle x is equal to screen width minus paddle w, okay? That makes sense? So if we get all the way to the end, then it can't go any further. So for the left side, we're going to say something like this. If paddle x is less than 0, I mean the x value is all the way at the end, then we are going to just say paddle x is equal to 0. Not equals equals, but just equals, because we are setting the paddle x variable to 0, okay? All right, let's see what that does. Run module, and we go all the way to the right, it stops, and all the way to the left, it also stops. So you see how that works? All right, let me just check my notes real quick. I keep on coding.